Dingus versus Wild. Pony the Pilot drops by the trailer park to learn me the ups and downs of aerial whaleshark spotting.
Remember, always empty your bladder.
Pony takes me up in his little bitty plane as we search for the biggest fish in the sea, the elusive whaleshark, along with all the other Ningaloo sea critters we can find. Then musical guest Tropi the Local also drops by the trailer park to perform his new hit single he wrote about Exmouth and the Ningaloo Reef. All that and more this week on Dingus versus Wild. Welcome to another edition of Dingus versus Wild. This week, we're going up sky high with Pony the Pilot, where we're going to be spotting whale sharks on the Ningaloo Reef. Pony, welcome to the show.
He got distracted talking.
Hey, Pony, welcome to the show, man. Pleasure to have you on the show.
Hey, cheers, Dingus.
Can I make you a cup of ice cold, delicious international roast?
Yeah, I love one.
Oh, yeah. We happen to have some ready right here. Our sponsor, International Roast, really takes good care of us. Just one scoop, right?
Yeah, one scoop.
All right. There you go. Got your cover right here. Yeah, that's the good stuff right there. You want some Maver's peanut butter?
No, thanks.
Or some ice cold refreshing Great Northern?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, if you change your mind, please let us know.
I'll set mine black.
Yeah,
Thanks.
just black. A little bit of Vinasoy in there. So, Tony, we had some really good times together recently, eh, mate?
Yeah, we did. Some flying, some diving.
Yeah.
Pretty
So
good.
this season has been great. It gave me a really great opportunity to teach some friends how to scuba dive here on the Ningaloo, Pony included. Let's roll that clip. So we had a really nice time going out on the boat and teaching Pony his open water earlier this season. And then I was like, man, it'd be really great if I could get up in that airplane of yours one of these days. I kind of guilted you into that a little bit.
Nah, that was the deal. Cheers, thank you.
So I've been working on as a whale shark guide out here on the Ningaloo for the last couple of months, and Pony is actually one of the guys who's responsible for finding the whale sharks for the boats to get their customers swimming with them. So how exactly does just line us up with how the whole industry works right here, Pony?
Yeah, sure. So when you came out with us, it was just to come and see how our day-to-day operations work from the air, because you do it every day from the water.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting seeing you're like this great chess master lining up all these chess pieces down there on the water. It's really fascinating.
It's just, it's a little bit of coordination between us up there talking to the other pilots, looking for the animals. And once we find an animal that's swimmable, then we're coordinating with the boat on the water, and then even sometimes coordinating with the swimmers in the water via underwater little waterproof radios in the water.
Oftentimes we can't really see the whale shark from the boat, and we're just kind of listening to the planes, like go left, go right, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when you can see everything happen from the sky, I mean, you can see the whale shark. It looks like a little tadpole down there, but you can see it crystal clear, like really well. And so how it usually works, it seems like, is you spot a whale shark, so whichever boat you're spotting for gets to do their swims first, get their customers happy, get at least one swim in, and then they start taking turns, right?
Right. I mean,
it's quite a friendly industry, isn't it?
It is, and it has been friendly in the last few years, which is really good. Because at the end of the day, it's really about the customers.
Yeah.
They've come here and paid all this money to swim with whale sharks. Some of them, it's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for some of them, and they've come in from all around the world. And
I mean, it's such a great industry where you can set it up where you can just almost guarantee somebody an opportunity to swim with a whale shark. It's amazing.
I mean,
it's
we're lucky in this region that they're so abundant here during this time of the year.
Yeah. Well, when I came up with you, the first thing you told me is make sure you don't drink a lot of liquids, right? We may be up there a while.
Yeah, that's something we tell people if they're coming up for a work day with us. On average, we'd be up there for about 3 hours a day. But if it's a real tough day and there's not that many sharks out there, we could be up there for 5-6 hours. We have the endurance to stay up there for like 6.5 hours.
Well, your fuel tank has the endurance, but maybe not your bladder.
Yeah. You get pretty used to it.
This week on Dingus versus Wild, whenever Pony comes out of the toilet, we're gonna go find a whale shark.
Remember, always empty your bladder. You get pretty used to it quick, so this is my 3rd season. I'll drink a cup of black international roast just before getting up in the air every morning.
Yeah.
And I'm able to not have to pee during that whole time. I think I peed once this season, and we'll get into how that works in the air shortly, I'm sure. But
yeah. To launch it first, it about scared the bejesus out of me. You just launched us up into outer space really quick.
Oh yeah, good wake up.
We're gonna convert some of the speed into altitude.
The zoom climb, yeah, they're good fun. When you take off and you can hold it nice and level along the runway and pick up some speed, and then when you pull up, you're basically converting that speed into altitude.
Yeah.
So it feels pretty cool. Yeah.
I feel like we just went straight up. I was like, it was like
you do feel a lot more in those little planes for sure.
Oh, you feel everything.
Yeah.
As we flew across the range, I noticed you could see the Murins even out to our right in the naval base.
Yeah.
The Murin Islands. Y'all's planes, you have just such a great 360 view. Like the Charles Knife Gorge and like a lot of the gorges out to our left. But yeah, it's just absolutely spectacular view and just a great way to see the Ningaloo. Yeah. So we got to the west side and we just kind of started patrolling back and forth north to south.
That's right, yeah.
So how far do you usually go on a patrol? Like, what's your maximum?
I like to usually start up at the top of North Reef, and then we zigzag. So I'd zigzag down all the way, probably down to about Millering, Discovery Center, Turquoise Bay. So on the way down, you're zigzagging, and then on the way up, I like to just cut straight up, real close in, and having a look at
Back of the reef?
at the back, yeah, just real close in.
We had a little bit of trouble finding a whale shark at first, but we did get our snack on. And
we did eat a lot of snacks that day.
Yeah, we had some pretty nice chicken hummus and nut mix.
That's right, yeah. Pretty healthy snacks that day, I reckon. I try to keep the snacks healthy, but sometimes there's some gummy bears on there and some Skittles as well. So it's a good little spot. There's lots to see from the air up here, especially now with all the whales coming through.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. We had lots of manta rays a few weeks ago as well, heaps of mantas, and we've had orcas almost every day for the last week as well, which has been pretty cool.
Yeah. been pretty amazing what you can see up there. But I was pretty amazed by the amount of humpbacks we're seeing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we got some nice shots of some humpbacks. Even some breaching.
Yeah, you got to see some cool whale action that day.
Yeah.
And as you know, it's because they're migrating north at this time. A lot of whales on the Humpy Highway.
Yeah, Humpy Highway. 30,000 humpback whales pass by the Ningaloo coast every year. They're coming up from Antarctica to have babies, fatten them up, and get them back down there to eat some krill.
That's right, yeah.
Krill.
And they often stop and rest in the Gulf up here on their way back down, on their way up as well.
But yeah, we're approaching the end of whaleshark season here.
We are, yeah.
So we were hoping to find us one of those solitary whale sharks that we've been hearing so much about. Well, they didn't make it too easy for us this day. We were up circling for quite a while, so we just cruised back and forth looking for one until we finally got on one, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And there he was, the biggest fish in the sea that we'd spent all day searching for has finally presented himself. The Ningaloo is home to an abundance of whale sharks, which arrive in March when the coral spawns and they come to eat all the little bitty zooplankton and little bitty krills that's floating around in the water this time of year. But now it's August, and the whale shark season is coming to an end. So we got to do everything in our power to make sure we don't lose this whale shark before our guys get a swim with it. And before Pony pisses his pants. And so once you do spot one,
right?
What's the we kind of go into a holding pattern, right? So what's the thinking here? What's your operation once you actually get on a whale shark?
Yeah, so once we find the whale shark, we start orbiting. You'd start orbiting the shark so you don't lose sight of it.
Yeah, well, I will tell you though, you do lose sight about halfway around because that glare is a sumbitch, isn't it?
Right, so with the glare, that's another thing, and I guess that's just with practice. When I first started, every time I turn into the glare, I'd start to panic. I'm like, oh no, I'm going to lose the shark. But now, after doing it for a while, you know where to expect to see it.
Yeah.
So your eyes just zone into that area anyway. Because if you keep your turns consistent, that shark's going to stay at that same spot in your window throughout the turn. So yeah, once we orbit over the shark, make sure it stays up, just keeping an eye on it. If it stays up, the first thing we do is we usually tell the other pilots first, say, oh, I found a whale shark here, I'm just going to call it in and bring my boats down to it. That way, if someone else sees it, they're not going to think it's their whale shark, and then they're going to call their boats onto it, and then there's a big rah, 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 rah. So we avoid that by just sort of like calling dibs on the whale shark.
This is mine.
Yeah. And then we talk to the boat. But yeah, once you call the boat on, and once your skipper spots the shark, then you sort of just stay in like a sort of an overwatch role where you're just watching, making sure the shark doesn't dive down.
Yep. So once you get your boats down by that whale shark and they're getting ready to drop their swimmers, what's the operation here? How do they coordinate things to where they're most likely to get the best non-invasive swim with a whale shark possible?
Yeah, that photographer spotter gets in. That photographer spotter gets in, makes contact with the shark.
There's a photographer right there.
And then, as you know, gives them the hand signals.
Once the photographer/spotter spots that whale shark, she lifts her arm up in the air to signal the boat.
And then you've got you guys go in with the group,
and the whale shark guide starts to swim towards the whale shark with the group of swimmers. And the swimmer jumps off the back of the boat, the whale shark guide. They kind of line up everybody in a single file line. Yeah. The whale shark should swim right by them. When the whale shark's pectoral fin passes the swimmers, this group will swim with the whale shark, maintaining 3 meters away from the side and 4 meters away from the tail of the whale shark until they're just too damn tired to keep up anymore. At this point, the next group's going to enter the water and rotate in, a process called leapfrogging to us in the biz.
You can see it all from the air too, and you can see when it's a nice precise drop and the whole crew is all tight.
They'll repeat this process again and again until all the boats have gotten a good swim and all them customers are just happier than hell.
It's well oiled when you've got a good system in place. I think it works well.
Yeah, it just looks so coordinated, and so it's just made me really pleased to be a part of the industry.
Yeah,
watching how well it played
cool.
out. So I just watched Top Gun recently, and I was asking Pony if we could buzz the lighthouse on the way back.
Nope. No buzzing the lighthouse.
He said we're gonna have to settle for a bit of G-force. Is it G-force?
Right. Yeah, that's right. So what you feel when you're pulling through a turn is positive G-force. So it just makes you feel a little bit heavier in your seat.
Yeah.
And right now we're all sitting at 1G, and I weigh 60 kilos, so at 1G I'm 60 kilos.
Yeah, like 1 atmosphere pressure, yeah.
Kind
of.
But when you're pulling through a turn, and let's say you're pulling 2Gs, my apparent weight now would be 120 kilos, so lifting my arm would be harder because it would feel heavier.
Yeah.
And so that's that feeling you get when you're pushed into your seat. That's positive G. But we did something different. We did something called negative G or 0G, which is basically weightlessness. Like if you were in space,
yeah.
That's what we did when we went up, and then we pushed the nose down slightly. And you feel that apparent weightlessness for a few seconds. That's negative G.
Yeah, I feel like Spaceman.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
They're like, come on the seat. Pins flying all around.
Yeah, that was some pretty cool footage you got of that as well, yeah.
Yeah, but after we got on that Whaleshark and we got our guys our swims, then we just kind of headed back to land, huh?
That's right, yeah.
Bladders were aching, our legs were pretty stiff after 4.5 hours in that tiny plane.
Yeah.
For you, maybe it's okay, but for me, I couldn't really
legs.
stretch out there this much.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was such a great time though. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
No, it was great having you on the aircraft, yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, flew back across, landed in the Gulf, and called it a day. You gotta pee? My ass is asleep. Let me out of here.
Yeah, just open your door.
Was that 4 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close to 4.5 probably.
4.5 hours. Just looking for these damn whale sharks. Out of this space car. Oh, yeah, we were up there for ages. It was
it was a big day. I think we did a 4.5 hour day or something.
Yeah,
oh, I
4.5 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Well, Pony, I really appreciate having you on the show, mate.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on.
Great.
It's great. It's great to have you on Dingus vs. Wild. A real astroman, aeronaut. Like, yeah. It's just great to get to see your perspective of the whale shark industry here, and we really feel safe in your hands when you're flying around above us like our little guardian angel.
Yeah, cheers. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Cool. Well, cheers. And now, guys, we're going to leave you with a special musical guest performance to close out the show today. Tropi the Local. Yeah, woo! Hey, Tropidopoulos. What up, Brian?
Go on, Dingus.
Oh, man. Great to have you on the show today. You're gonna sing us a special song, right?
Yeah, this song's actually written about this magical town we're in today, Exmouth.
Exmouth, I've heard of it.
Yeah. I wrote this song with a friend, Shark Rider. He actually lost half his finger yesterday in an incident, so this is a special tribute to him.
Yeah, and his lost finger.
And his lost finger, yeah, and it's about lost people actually. And we were talking one night when we were super baked about how a lot of people come to Exmouth because they're running away from things, and it's full of people who are lost and looking, and that's what this song's about.
I've never found you so attractive. Well, let's hear it, Trops.
The ocean and dust fell down a rabbit hole. I woke up in the sea, and the sea, she's caught us. She set us free. Don't get down, I will run away just for a day. I wanna make you stay, but then you run away. And let's run away just for a day. I wanna make you stay, a little runaway. Drive the dunes and the beers back at Froth. All the people I remember are the ones they forgot. Now little quabber, maybe worry for the day, 'cause they all hold your heart today. Can't make you stay, you run away. Now let's run away for a day. I wanna make you stay, or will you run away? Now let's run away just for a day. I wanna make you stay, or run away. Met her in the surf, tattoos on her arms. In a stormy sea, she kept so calm. And then, back on the sand, she got into my head. And somehow her scent found its way to my bed. Living in the land of the lost and the looking. We all addicts made from ocean and dust. Fell down a rabbit hole We woke up in a sea, and the sea, she's caught us. Will she set us free? Didn't nail it, but
Tropidopolis! Thanks for coming on the show, man.
yeah.
Until next time, this has been another episode of Dingus vs. Wild. I'd like to thank Michael Tropidopolis for coming and spitting the jams, and Pony the Pilot for coming and telling us all about his job and that.
Oh, it was just an absolute pleasure, and what opportunity to give back to Dingus and his community. You know, they've done so much for Exmouth and for the people of Exmouth. So to have this opportunity to be a part of something bigger is just something I've always kind of dreamed of.
Yeah, well, dream big. That's it.
Thank you, Dingus.
Until next time, this has been Dingus versus the Wild.